Lagos deputy governor causes commotion on aircraft. Passengers on board on Abuja-bound aircraft from Lagos sometime last week were thrown into commotion at the sight of the deputy governor of Lagos State, Obafemi Hamzat, in the economic class of the aircraft. The deputy governor was scheduled to attend an official function in Abuja on that day, but all the airlines contacted said that only tickets for economy class were available. Determined to make the trip, Hamzat told his aides that he did not mind flying with economic tickets. As he stepped into the aircraft, the passengers he met on board could not believe their eyes. They whispered to one another in curiosity, wondering if the passenger they beheld was indeed the deputy governor of Lagos State. Curious passengers who had managed to keep their composure later swooped on Hamzat as soon as the aircraft landed in Abuja to ascertain that they were not seeing a ghost. He said, "Your Excellency, what is going on?" One of them asked in a tone of genuine concern. Is Lagos so broke now that the deputy governor is flying economy? Is it really true that someone has gone away with all the money? An amused Hamzat smiled in response, explaining that he needed to make an urgent trip and got the seat that was available. What is important is that I wanted to be in Abuja and I am in Abuja, he said. So guys, if you want to look at this in different ways, you know, because some people have said many things concerning this when the news broke out, that, why would people be wondering, is he not a human being? Why is this so, what is so special about him taking economy? Has he not been taking economy whatever before now? So what's the big deal about it? Some people are really wondering because maybe from the angle of the style of these politicians, they always go for big things. Most of the taxpayers' money goes in for their lifestyle, so they always look for big things. So for them to have seen him in that position, they were like, what could be really happening? Or does it mean there's no money, or they are trying to cut costs? And one of the passengers approached him and he explained all of this to them. But some Nigerians, are seeing it from a different angle. Someone says it is people like those that were shocked he was in economic class that are part of Nigerians' problems. That is how corruption is encouraged by people. Someone say, Nigerians, when a politician steals money, you will complain and call him a thief and all sorts of names. When they decided to respect themselves and only take what is theirs, some people will insult him for not being smart. So no, in this case, it's not even according to what the deputy governor explained. Ordinarily, he wouldn't have gone with economy class because of the first class ticket wasn't available, so he had no option and he needed to be at the program or what he was to go and do in Abuja. Ordinarily, he wouldn't have done that, so it was not a matter of a humility or trying to cut costs based on that reason. Ordinarily, and that was why people were really surprised because these guys, they are the first people who always benefit the dividends of democracy. Every other person, they will tell you they are serving you, but ironically, they are the ones ruling you, because every juicy things that comes with being a good being proud of a citizen or a citizen of a country, they are the ones enjoying it. We can simply put it, the dividends of democracy, they are the ones enjoying it. So people were surprised, so you can't even blame them. It's not as if somebody was like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. Even this person that made this comment is right in the first place, because there are some expectation. People are really expecting you to something that are expecting you to do. Oh, if you are trying to cut costs, they will say, oh, can't you see what your mate did? Can't you see what and what they acquired? But they never ask them, how did they acquire all of those things? If you still go and steal, oh, they will be the ones to first cast the first stone. So it is just like that. But the most important thing, you do the right thing so that posterity will judge. We have a lot of them now. They are regretting their actions, and now they cannot even talk in the public space. And someone says, so what is the big deal flying economy class? Has he not been flying economy class before he was made commissioner in Lagos and now deputy governor? It is no news, I beg. Someone say, what's the big deal about that? Peter Obi flew economy class all through when he was the governor of Anambra State, and the color of his skin did not change, neither did the status lowered. Peter Obi remains one of the ex-governors that EFCC do not worry about. Please, people, leave the man alone and leave Ambode to rest. If Lagos money is missing, they should hold Fashola and Tinubu responsible. That's what somebody is talking here. Someone say, low mentality. Economic and business class, same plane, same destination. Why all this protocol? This is how the followers corrupt their leaders. Rather than appreciate, commend and encourage the deputy to continue flying economy class, to cut costs and stay connected with the people. Someone is asking if Lagos State is so broke. The now has a flight and economy class, that he has to fly economy class. Nigeria forget so early that throughout the 8 years that former governor Donald Duke was in office as governor of Cross River State, he flew economy class and was always on time before most passengers. The flight was at no time delayed because of the governor. Mr. Deputy Governor, please do not allow people who massage egos of leaders to mislead you into error. Keep flying economy class to stay connected to the people. Just like the news has said, it was not a deliberate act that he went on the economic class, because there was no space for first class. He wouldn't have done that. So that is not the case here. Making a mountain out of a molehill. Insanity is killing Nigerians these days for real. Why is everyone becoming dumb and dumber as the days progresses? What's the big deal of a deputy governor flying economy? I've had an opportunity to be in same flight with Tennessee's governor on 2 occasions, and we were sitting comfortable on Southwest Airlines from Nashville to Atlanta. So what's the big deal? When you have not seen things before, that's why a lot of people, they have not seen some of these things. There's a normal environment that most of us have grown up with, normal things, or things that we say things they are normal, because that is what they have grown up with. They have not seen any other thing before, so it will be a surprising thing. It's those who have really left their shore and go to other people's place. When you have not left your father's farm, you would think your father's farm is the biggest, but when you go to other people's farm, you don't know that you have not started. So that is what is always happening to most people, even in the developed world too. Majority of them, you will be surprised when you have interaction with them. You will know that most of them don't even know anything apart from their own country, and the way they will be asking some questions, you'll be wondering that, well, these people are supposed to be in a developed world, but because they have never left their area, they've never left their country, so they are all used to what is happening in their area, so you wouldn't blame them in the first place. So what is happening to most Nigerians is that is what they have grown up to see. So they don't know anything different. If something else happens, you start wondering what could be happening, what could be happening. And most times when the so-called followers, they will be chanting and singing the praises of the so political elites, or the politicians, as you may call them, unknown to them that these politicians are marginalizing them. These politicians are doing all manner of things, even to continue to put them on ground, that they will never rise up again. They will never rise. They will not even know their left from their right. But they would think that these people are doing them good. But these politicians, they know most things. But it is out of greed and wickedness. They don't want to do the right thing. Because these guys, they've been traveling, they've traveled all over the country. They know the right thing. But because they know that their people, majority of their people are not aware of the right thing. So they will continue to live with them in that state. Not that these people don't know the right thing. Most of our leaders, they know the right thing. Most of them, of course, some of them might not know the right thing, but majority of them don't know the right thing because they've been going to other places. They know what is happening. But it is wickedness. They will not want you to know the right thing, so that they will continue to lord over you, and you continue to see them as demigods. That is just what is happening. That is just what is happening. So someone is saying here again that Nigerians can be funny at times. Why do we like to worship political leaders? Exactly. Good example is the best way to manage the rotten economy. Others should follow to show patriotism. No, this man is not patriotic because the first class ticket wasn't available, and that was why he had to follow, or he had to buy economy. Someone say, I commend Dr. Hamza through Nigeria. The same thing we are talking about. They don't even know the genesis of the whole thing. If he had been, if the ticket, the first flight ticket was available, they wouldn't have seen him in the first place. No big deal for him to fly with economy class from Lagos to Abuja. I seated next to Macron's vice last summer on a train going through Madrid to France. It is only in our politicians, their followers or their citizens are living in abject poverty. Why other countries, the level of poverty in other countries, is not as high as what is happening in Nigeria. They are, but our politicians are the richest. They are the highest paid politicians in the whole world, and yet our country is the headquarter of poverty. So, guys, I would like to hear from you what you think about this whole thing. Whether it is a big deal concerning, the deputy governor of Lagos State flying economy class. A lot of people have said several things that is never a big deal. So, guys, leave your comments below in the comment section and let's hear your own take concerning this. Thank you very much. Bye.